welcome back to another episode of my 31 Days of Halloween. My name is Brittany, and if you are not subscribed yet, definitely make sure to subscribe. I'm posting every single day for the month of October, so you are not going to want to miss a single video. So, actually, since it is Halloween, I know I'm wearing a green shirt, but let's see. Wear my Ravenclaw scarf as I tell this story. Oh, see if I can do this right. Let's see. Sit down as I tell a story. Okay, so because I am a Ravenclaw, if you guys didn't know. A ton of Ravenclaw shirts, and now I have a scarf. I have a beanie, so true Ravenclaw. Oh, I am always interested on what houses you guys are. So, because Harry Potter is like my favorite thing. So definitely comment your house down below because I'd love to know. So we are actually, and I did print out a couple of these, but I'm only going to be telling one or maybe two of them in this video, and because I'll use them for other videos, because I find these so interesting. They are black-eyed children encounters. They're supposed to be true encounters with black-eyed children. And if you guys haven't checked out my black-eyed children video, definitely check that out. I will leave the link right down below, so it's very easy for you guys to find. So, I'm going to read right from this because I have mom brain and can't remember everything. So, this one is called The Midnight Caller. It almost felt like a dream. I'm actually going to put a background so it doesn't glare. Okay. Oh, I love stationery supplies too. I have a mermaid folder. So, this one is called the Midnight Caller. So, it says, it almost felt like a dream. I woke up to my dog, Lucy, barking. She was upright on the bed where my husband and I were sleeping with our 22-month-old daughter, staring at her door like an unknown stranger was out of their earth. Staring at the door like an unknown stranger was out there rummaging around. I thought she was just freaking out over a house noise. We'd only had her for 3 months and she was still a puppy. It could have been anything. Our roommate, a creak from the house settling, the awnings moving outside in the breeze. I wasn't too concerned initially. I decided the best bet would be open the door to show her that nothing was there. It sounds a bit silly, but it's what we do with our daughter when she gets scared, and I figured it should work with a puppy too. I opened the door, and she raced to the front door. She stood there, snarling at the door. It was angry. It was an angry, violent growl, one I have never heard her make before. I looked groggily at her and opened the baby gate blocking the doorway, planning to open the door and show her everything was okay. The second my hand reached for the deadbolt, Lucy went wild. She started barking and jumping toward me, and when I touched the metal, she suddenly changed her temper. She whimpered, almost like she was afraid and backing down. As her mannerism changed, so did mine. I wasn't calm anymore. My heart was racing and sinking at the same time. I had been flooded with a mixture of fear and dread. I looked through the peephole. I can't explain why I looked, but I did. Outside, there were 2 kids. One was just a smidgen shorter than me and didn't look much younger. I'm 21, and she looked to be 16 or 17. She was slender and pale. Her hair was a light shade of honey blonde, and she wore it long, about mid-back, with long, thin, blunt bangs in the front that covered most of her eyes. She wore jeans, a light wash that's popular right now, and a thin-looking olive-colored pullover-style hoodie. She held the hand of a small girl. who looked to be about 3 or 4, in the same style jeans and a button-down ivory cardigan. The smaller one looked at the floor shyly, but had the same shade of hair tied back in a ponytail. She held a stuffed toy under her free arm, and it was identical to one my daughter has, as was the style of her dress, or style of dress. Had it not been for the feeling of overwhelming dread and fear, I probably would have asked these children in and given them some tea or hot chocolate. Something about them seemed off. At this point, I hadn't made any noise. I hadn't shushed the dog or grumbled, nothing. I hadn't turned on any lights. These kids had no indicator I was at the door. The older one spoke. She had a voice that was mature, confident, strong, and accentless. She held her head tilted downward, and I couldn't see her eyes. She said, "We have to use your phone." I stood there frozen in fear. How did she know I was there? She raised her head to face me directly, and that was when I saw her eyes. There was a reason I couldn't see through them, or see them through her bangs before. They were black, or midnight blue, or a dark purple. They were otherworldly, she said. "Our mother is worried." As someone who has always been interested in creepy stories, I knew what she was the second she looked at me through the door. I have never been one to believe in these things. As a staunch atheist and skeptic, when it comes to the paranormal, I had written off many of ghost stories from friends and family members eager to tell their tale. I didn't believe it. Still, I couldn't rationalize my way out of this. I was standing with nothing but a thin wooden door between me and a black-eyed kid. There was no questioning what was right in front of me. I did not answer her. Slowly and silently, I backed away from the door. Lucy, still cowering at my ankles. She kept talking. "Just let us in to use your phone." I took another step back, and with that step, the tone changed. At first, she seemed polite. When I took the second step back, she began commanding, almost hostile. "We're not going to hurt you. If we wanted to do that, we would have broken in. I'll ask again. May we come in and use your phone?" Lucy snarled at the door, and I inched backward, though something inside me seemed to be slowly pulling me back toward the door. It wasn't a physical pulling so much as a subconscious need to go back and let them in. I got to my room, covered up the window, locked the door, and sat there in the dim light of the nightlight. I heard her call me back to the door once more, and then quiet. I didn't go back to sleep that night, and I haven't slept right since. I know from reading about them that black-eyed kids can't just come in without permission. I know they haven't hurt anyone, but I still fear I'll be the exception. When I told my husband, he said it was just a dream. He kept telling me to forget it. But this lingering feeling of sadness, this dread when the house is silent at night, the fear of a knock at the door, this tells me otherwise. So I will actually share one more with you guys. Okay, so this one is called "You Must Let Me In." On March 17, 2008, I had my one and only encounter with a black-eyed child. Before my experience, I had never heard of anything having to do with the black-eyed kids. I was 12. I was sitting inside of a hairdresser's in an old Chevy pickup waiting for my mom to get her hair cut. About 15 minutes had passed, and I saw some kid walking back and forth along the sidewalk in front of my parked car. At first, I thought I recognized him as one of my friends from school, so I banged on the front windshield until he looked my way. It was not anyone I knew. At this point, I was not scared at all. Not yet. The boy walked over to the side of my car and just stared. I think to let me get a good look at his eyes. To freak me out, let me tell you. If you have never seen a black-eyed kid, you have no idea what to imagine. Pupils black as the night sky. The boy whispers, "You must let me in." And then I locked the car doors and ducked down into the space below the seat. 5 minutes later, he was gone. When my mother got into the car, she told me the boy with the black eyes had came into the hairdresser's, had insisted for my mother to give him the keys to the car. She refused. Thankfully, she did. know what you guys think of those encounters. Again, I do have some more that I'm just waiting and dying to tell you guys. So those will be, I might do one more this month, and then I'm going to kind of spread them out because I found a ton. And I just think it's so creepy. There's something so creepy about something so innocent being so dark, like ghost children and stuff. Like, it's like that mix between really sad and really creepy. And yeah, I want to know if you guys have ever had an encounter with a black-eyed child. Personally, I have never. Very thankful for that. I don't think that would be good. So, I hope I never do. In one aspect, but in the aspect, like, I don't know. They're intriguing. So, I would, like, insist on seeing their eyes. Like, say a kid knocked on my door, I would just insist. Like, keep insisting on seeing their eyes. And then insisting on what they wanted, like, what they needed, how they could be helped. I actually don't know. I'm so curious on what they are. Because there's so many different things about what they might be, but nobody knows exactly what they are. And it's very, very curious to me. So, let me know your guys' opinions on the stories, and if you guys have ever had an encounter with a black-eyed child, and what you would do if you had. So, definitely let me know, and if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are not even halfway through the month yet, which is great, because that means ton more videos. Not that I'm not posting after the month ends, but I'm posting every single day for this month, so you won't want to miss a single video. And with that being said, I hope that you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!